What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bokman's vlog, and also wanted to wish everybody a very happy new year, very happy 2019. Wishing everybody lots of health and success for this year, and hopefully now is the time that you start to take actionable steps to get you to where you want to be. So I wanted to take the time to do a quick little book review. Those of you that know, I'm a huge reader. I was never actually really good at reading or really wanted to read up until about 3 years ago. And I think in the last 3 years, I've read probably close to about 60 plus books. And I'm one of those people that, if you listen to one of my previous podcasts, I'm one of those people that doesn't really remember stuff really well. Like, I don't really remember movie lines and things like that, especially books. But I always say to people, if you can get at least one nugget out of that book, it's a win. So if you think about it, over the last 3 years or so, I've read 60 plus books. If I just got one little thing out of each one of those books, that's 60 new ideas, new ways of thinking. So I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for taking the time to educate myself. So anyway, let's get right to it. I want to do a quick little book review on David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. I first found out about David Goggins through the Joe Rogan podcast maybe about 6 months or so ago, and didn't really know too much about David Goggins other than the fact that he was a previous Navy SEAL, and he had gone through some training. And then he was on another episode of Joe Rogan, and I got a chance to watch the episode. And man, this guy, talk about the power of the human mind. I bought this book on the day it came out. I think I read it in less than a week. Here's the cliff notes, guys. Here we have a man who grew up basically in poverty and being abused. And this man, through mental fortitude, went through Navy SEAL training, BUDS, which is some of the hardest training in the world. This man went through it 3 times. 3 times. This man ran 100 miles with no training and on broken legs, basically. This man has crushed the world record for pull-ups. I think it's like 4,300 something pull-ups in 24 hours. I mean, some crazy shit. The list goes on and on and on about the accomplishments that David Goggins has gone through, and he simply attributes it to the power of the mind. And he talks about how, most people, as soon as they feel a little bit of pain or discomfort, the brain is telling them to stop. And most people give in to that, don't we? Most people do. I know I do sometimes, right? On that run, feet start hurting. What's the first thing you want to do? You want to stop running. You want to start walking. And so that's what he talks about, is the power of the mind. The mind can make the body go through hell and back. I won't tell you everything else about the book. I will just say to you that this has everything to do, not just about running marathons and doing pull-ups, but it has to do with winning at life, winning in business, having successful relationships with your partner, your business partners, your colleagues. It's all up here. And it's so interesting how many people train the body but neglect the mind. And so I always say you can't have one without the other. So anyway, I highly recommend this book. It's written basically by him, and it's spoken like him. It's not like a regular book. I almost felt like David Goggins was reading this book to me. He's super motivational, and I highly, highly recommend this book. I highly recommend you going out and checking out his interviews. They're all over the place on every single podcast right now. He's basically kind of blowing up a little bit in the motivational space. But this is a hard human being. And we don't necessarily have to do everything that he's doing. But man, if you can get something from him, great book, super amazing message, and it's powerful. And it goes along with all the things that I always talk about as well. So once again, I would say to you, go get the book. It's great for audio as well. I listen to audiobooks in the gym or while I'm on a run, but it's great to read as well. I recommend both versions of it. Get the book. Get listen to some of the podcasts. The Joe Rogan one's great. And as I always say, if you're not evolving, you're dying. Thanks again for tuning in, and make it a great one, everybody.